What is up, YouTube? All right, so this is going to be a little bit of a new series. We're going to do kind of a meta report on the top decks, top play rate, top win rate decks, and why they are what they are. This might be a weekly or bi-weekly thing, but we're just going to kind of take an in-depth look and why, how the meta is shaped and why the meta is what it is. Okay, so as you may have seen, top play rate decks and what you've experienced on ladder, Morgana Mordekaiser is at the top. It's a 9% play rate, pretty big number. It's very good deck. It's very fun, and it's different in the way that it plays compared to decks in the past. So people have really been enjoying Morgana Mordekaiser, and it's a pretty good deck. So it's up there. Then we have Nora Elder Dragon, Shyvana, Fizz Yuumi, and another Volibear Elder Dragon. So now, what happened? What happened here? So what happened was Morgana Mordekaiser was insane. It was beating all the current decks, and some of the responses to that were, okay, I'm gonna go play greedier decks. I'm gonna play Shyvana Elder Dragon, which beats Morgana Mordekaiser slightly. Why? Because, well, it's a little greedier. You play a lot of 6, 7, 8 drops, and you kind of just are too tall for them to even get an attack in. They have a lot of trump units. Your dragons are getting huge, and you just eventually overwhelm them and win the game. The other response was, okay, well, we're going to play more greedy decks. We're going to play Volibear Elder Dragon. We're going to play all these really greedy decks. Karmaset should be in here. Yep, Karmaset's here. We're going to beat these, these Morgana Mordekaisers, and we're going to farm them. But then, because of this, decks such as, and we're going to look at the win rates here. Now, we look at this, and you go, okay, well, the win rates are all these, aggro decks, and then we have the Shyvana Morgana. So what happened was these decks, Shyvana Morgana, Karmaset, whatever, got played, and now we have a response to these greedier decks with just straight up aggro. We have, Darius, Gnar, Jinx. Jinx gets destroyed by Morgana Mordekaiser. Like, it's not a good win. It's not a good matchup for them. They have plenty of trumps, but what happened was that because all these decks, the meta kind of shifted to beating the Morgana Mordekaiser decks with these greedy decks. Well, now aggro's kind of seeing some play again in the meta because of that. And so if we look at all, the top win rate decks, it's Darius Gnar, which is just aggro overwhelm. You just play big, bunch of overwhelm units, and your low ends like classic like Crimson Pigeon and Ruthless Raider, and you just like, you've seen the deck plenty of times. It's not really new. You're playing the new card here, but that's about it. Jinx, I don't think there's anything new in this deck. There's absolutely nothing new in this deck, and it's just classic Jinx aggro. There's not much to say. And so we got Riven Gwen. So playing Fallen Reckoner. These decks, they kind of fell out of favor when Morgana Mordekaiser was being played. I mean, this deck's actually okay into Morgana Mordekaiser, but Annie Jhin, all these aggro decks were pretty bad in Morgana Mordekaiser. But because all these kind of a lot of the greedier decks started seeing play, a lot of the a little bit more aggro mid range started seeing play. We're seeing more Annie Jhin, more Jinx, more of this just straight up aggro. You're gonna play greedy deck, fine. Then I'm gonna go farm you. So what can you do? What's the meta gonna shape up next? What's gonna happen? Well, I don't know in the next patches exactly, but I assume that Morgana Mordekaiser is still gonna see quite a bit of play. It's a fun deck. People will like it, and it's very good. Like it is very good. It has probably the best matchup tables of any deck. It has the widest range, and the same with Nora Elder Dragon. I think Nora Elder Dragon is a very good deck. It has very good matchup tables. You don't hard win everything, but you have good, you have chances in everything. what we haven't seen too much of, and that's been popular for a long time, is Seraphine set, Karma set. That kind of fell out of the meta for a little bit. You know, even I think the Karma set list that got a little bit more popular, and that one that I've been playing has been this Freljord Karma set, because it's better into, it just destroys Morgana Mordekaiser, and it beats a lot of these greedy decks, right? So I would say, like, what's going to happen here is that I think there's going to be a couple more days, and I'm not sure, I haven't played today, but I think there's going to be a few more days of greedy decks beating greedy decks. And right now, what you need to do to just climb is either play the greediest version of all these decks, which would be the Karma set Freljord, which is what I've been playing, or play something that, you know, is just aggro. You know, you just simply you play simple aggro, you run them down. You're gonna lose against the Morgana Mordekaisers, you are, but all the other decks that are trying to beat Morgana Mordekaiser, you're going to do very well in. And I think that's where I would end up if I'm really, really trying to climb. It's the fastest way to get games in. There's an interesting deck here, and I might do a video on this, but this is a pretty interesting deck. Again, pretty aggro, just kind of elusive swarm. You're abusing Elder Dragon, of course. Yeah, so yeah, you can kind of see Karma Seraphine set, Karma set, all these, you know, kind of lower play rates, but pretty good. And the reason being is that they are just greedy, and they have pretty good matchup into Morgana Mordekaiser. Okay, so what's the kind of the takeaway from all this? The takeaway is this. You know, a lot of people are playing Morgana Mordekaiser, and you think, okay, 10% play rate. That means 1 in 10 games I'm going to play this against this. Well, the more likely scenario is that in 1 in, you know, 12 games or whatever, you're going to play against Nora Elder Dragon. The other 80% of games are going to be against decks that are, in my belief, is going to be against decks that are trying to beat Morgana Mord and Nora Elder. And so, you know, that's like Fizz Yumi, that's Volibear Elder Dragon, even Darius Nar has, you know, fairly good matchups. My opinion is play Jinx. Just play some Jinx. If you don't want to, that's fine. But if you're really trying to climb, I think Jinx, you know, elusives, really hard aggro stuff is going to beat all these greedy decks that are trying to, you know, beat Morgana Mordekaiser, which is a greedy deck in itself, but it's actually good against aggro because of just how it plays out. Play aggro. Don't try to beat Morgana Mordekaiser. It's okay. You're going to lose against, you know, 1 in 10 games, you're going to lose against Morgana Mordekaiser, but you're going to beat all the decks that are trying to beat that by out-greeding them, you know. If I'm playing Jen Annie, I want to be playing against Karma Sat. Like, that sounds great, you know. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this, like, little meta recap. I do think this will be, like, a weekly thing, or bi-weekly. I'm trying to kind of just see how fast the meta changes. It might not be necessary every week, but it's definitely kind of a series that I want to be ongoing, and I hope it helped out. I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace.